The movie begins with a quiet but unsettling moment, where a worker is being transferred into a secured enclosure. Everything seems controlled at first, but within seconds, something goes wrong. The situation turns chaotic, and it becomes clear that these creatures are far more dangerous than the system can handle. This brief incident sets the tone, hinting that control here is only an illusion. The story then moves to a wealthy entrepreneur named John Hammond, a man driven by a bold vision. He wants to create something the world has never seen before. Instead of building a traditional zoo, he has funded a secret project to bring dinosaurs back to life. Using DNA preserved inside ancient mosquitoes trapped in amber, scientists managed to recreate extinct species. It is presented as a scientific miracle, but beneath that achievement lies a risk no one fully understands. Soon after, paleontologists Alan Grant and Ellie Sattler are invited to this remote island facility. Alongside them is mathematician Ian Malcolm, whose perspective is very different from the others. Also present is lawyer Donald Gennaro, sent to evaluate whether the park is safe for public opening. As they arrive, none of them are prepared for what they are about to witness. The moment they see a living dinosaur for the first time, everything changes. What once existed only as bones and theories is now alive in front of them. The experience feels almost magical, but Ian Malcolm quickly raises concerns. He questions whether humans should interfere with nature at this level, warning that just because something can be done does not mean it should be done. As the tour begins, Hammond proudly explains how everything works. The park is controlled through advanced systems, including electric fences, automated vehicles, and a centralized control room. On the surface, it all appears perfectly designed. His grandchildren, Lex and Tim Murphy, join the tour, bringing excitement and curiosity into the journey. Then the story moves deeper into the park as the group begins their guided ride. Some dinosaurs do not show up as expected, and the carefully planned experience starts to feel unpredictable. Hammond remains confident, but there is a growing sense that something is not quite right. Soon after, the group encounters a sick dinosaur. Ellie Sattler investigates and discovers that the animal has been eating toxic plants. This reveals a major flaw in the system. Despite all the technology, the natural environment is behaving in ways that cannot be fully controlled. It becomes clear that this park is not as stable as it was designed to be. As the situation quietly builds toward tension, the story introduces Dennis Nedry, the man responsible for the park's computer systems. He is frustrated and secretly planning to steal dinosaur embryos to sell them. When a powerful storm approaches the island, he sees it as the perfect opportunity. He shuts down key security systems, including the electric fences, to carry out his plan. From here, everything begins to collapse. With the power disabled, the park loses its control. Nedry attempts to escape with the stolen embryos, but the storm creates confusion and disorientation. In the darkness, he encounters a small but dangerous dinosaur. What starts as a simple delay quickly turns into a fatal mistake, and he does not survive. His actions leave the entire park vulnerable. At the same time, the tour vehicles are left stranded near one of the most dangerous enclosures. With no electricity, the barriers fail, and a massive predator, the Tyrannosaurus rex, breaks free. This is where the story reaches one of its most iconic and intense moments. The T-Rex approaches slowly, guided by sound and movement. There is a brief silence before everything erupts into chaos. The creature attacks the vehicles, flipping one of them and separating the group. Alan Grant immediately focuses on protecting the children, showing calm under pressure. Ian Malcolm steps in to distract the predator, putting himself at risk. Meanwhile, Donald Gennaro panics and tries to hide, but the situation quickly overwhelms him. From here, survival becomes the only goal. Alan manages to reach Tim and Lex, but their vehicle falls over a cliff and gets stuck in a tree. In a careful and tense sequence, Alan helps them climb down safely. And restoring power becomes increasingly urgent. Their situation mirrors the danger outside, showing that the entire park is failing at once. Meanwhile, Ellie Sattler realizes that the only solution is a full system reset. She prepares to move through the dangerous jungle to reach the power grid. Alongside her is Robert Muldoon, a skilled hunter who understands how these predators behave. As the story continues, Alan and the children move through the jungle, searching for safety. They climb a tree to rest, where they encounter a peaceful, plant-eating dinosaur. For a brief moment, the tension fades, reminding them that not all creatures here are dangerous. It adds emotional balance to an otherwise intense journey. But soon, the story takes another critical turn. Alan discovers dinosaur eggs in the wild. This reveals that the animals are breeding naturally, something that was never supposed to happen. Ian Malcolm's earlier warnings now feel real. Nature has found a way to bypass human control, and the system is no longer contained. At the same time, Ellie manages to restore power, but the facility itself is not safe. She narrowly escapes a dangerous encounter inside the building and makes her way back. Meanwhile, Alan and the children reach an electric fence. Believing it is inactive, they begin to climb. At the exact moment they are crossing, the power is restored. Tim gets caught and receives a strong shock, leaving him unconscious. Alan quickly reacts, performing CPR and bringing him back. This moment adds emotional weight, showing how close they are to losing everything. Soon after, they finally reach the main building, where they reunite with the others. For a brief moment, it feels like they might be safe. The children find food, and there is a short pause in the chaos. But the danger is not over. In the next sequence, small and fast-moving predators enter the building. Lex and Tim are forced into a tense survival situation inside the kitchen area. Using intelligence and silence, they avoid detection, turning the moment into a suspense-driven test of courage and quick thinking. As the story approaches its climax, all survivors gather in the visitor center. However, the predators close in, surrounding them from multiple sides. Escape seems impossible, and the tension reaches its peak. At the final moment, the T-Rex suddenly returns, disrupting the situation. It attacks the smaller predators, creating a brief opening. Without hesitation, the group takes this chance and runs toward their escape. A helicopter is waiting, and they manage to reach it just in time. As they lift off, the island slowly disappears beneath them. John Hammond reflects silently, realizing that his vision ignored the unpredictability of nature. His dream did not fail because of technology, but because it tried to control something that cannot be controlled. The survivors leave behind a place that should never have existed, carrying with them the understanding that some boundaries are not meant to be crossed. And here the movie ends. If you want more videos like that, so please like and subscribe. Thanks.